If you spend any time on YouTube, you've probably seen a ton of people out there telling you to go out there and launch your own private label brand. Search for the next secret product research method, or spend hours walking around the clearance aisle selling things and hoping that you make some money. I've been selling on Amazon for over 6 years now, doing over $1 million per month in our wholesale business, and have generated a total of 35 million in sales. And I will tell you firsthand, most of what's out there just doesn't work, or at least doesn't work anymore. Following some of these strategies will literally waste not only your time, but more importantly, your money. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 worst mistakes that Amazon FBA sellers make, the ones that keep them broke. I'm gonna show you what you actually should do to generate some income using some real data and my experience. Let's get into it. Myth number 1, start with private label. It's the best way to go out there and build a brand. Now, it sounds so good on paper, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell into this trap as well. Private label, you go out there, you release a product, you create a logo, website, you're pumped up. You can't wait for this product to start selling, but guess what? No one knows about your product. It's like, from a logical perspective, if no one knows about your product, it really doesn't matter how good it is because no one's gonna know where to buy it or how to buy it or anything about you. You always have to think about it from this perspective. Look at what we buy as a nation. What do we buy? We buy the things that are most popular. A lot of us spend a ton of money on Nike, these name brand products, Adidas, Louis Vuitton, whatever in the world you buy. Is it always the best product that gets our money? No. It's the one that has the best marketing. You see, the thing about it is when you go out there and start your own brand, you have to go through, I call it the 5 fingers of death. I'm a little dramatic, so you'll see why. Number 1, you gotta go out there and get samples created for your product, right? Before you release a product, you need to confirm that the samples are good. You have to go get a logo, a website. Then you need to now go pay for the full product run before you sell it to anyone. And then the last piece is you need to go out there and market it. You have to be able to generate eyeballs on your product. Now, there are ways that are relatively cheap to do this, like putting out your own organic content on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram and drawing eyeballs. But for most people, let's be real here, right? What does it really look like for a brand to scale? It's gonna take some kind of paid advertising. And the thing about it is, wherever you advertise, it could be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google, whatever it may be, how advertising works is it is an auction-based system. People bid on certain words or certain positions, and generally who wins? The person that either A, has the most money, or the one willing to spend the most money. Now, when you're going into a competitive space where you're competing with people who already have a lot, deep pockets than you, probably a lot more experience, this is an uphill battle. It is not to say that it can't work, but because I've launched private label brands, they've taken off. Not when I first started though, because when you first jump into this game, you have to understand you're coming in like a rookie, right? You're not coming into the NBA finals right here, right? So what you want to do is find the quickest path to cash flow. And for most people, finding that quickest path to cash flow comes with selling things that people already know, love, and trust. When you go out there and you're creating a product that no one's ever heard about, don't know you, can't trust you, no reviews, no nothing, that battle is not that easy to win. Once you get traction over a year or 2 or 3, then yeah, it becomes a lot easier. People know you, love you, trust you, they're gonna buy from you. But when you first start, it is a money sink. It is a time sink. Those 5 things that I spoke about, you can probably expect for most products, if you're sourcing them outside of the US, it takes about 6 months for you to generate your first sale. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. After spending money on all 5 of these things, is that first sale profit? No, it's just recouping some of this cost. So what we look to do, and kind of what saved me from losing a ton of money like I was when I first started, was instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, we go out there and we do something very similar to what Walmart does. We put what the customer wants on our shelf. And we just get it at a cheaper wholesale price and give it to them at a retail price. And we play that middleman role and we make cash flow. Now, if you want to take some of that cash flow and get a little more risky with it, you at least have a business that brings a consistent, reliable income, not going and taking your savings and jumping into a game that's very competitive and fighting an uphill battle against a lot of brands that are just simply bigger than you and have deeper pockets than you and more experience, right? So at the end of the day, we want the simplest path to cash flow. It's almost like if you want to go out there and, do real estate, right? A lot of people start with rental arbitrage. Like when we jumped into the Airbnb game, we jumped into rental arbitrage first before going out there and buying a property and effing it up. Like, I'm gonna go get a lease and try it. And lo and behold, trust me, the first property we got, we effed it up. We barely broke even on that one. And thank God that was a lease. We learned from it and we made a ton more money on the second one. But if I would have went out there and bought it, I could have been upside down before I know it. So always take the easiest path to cash flow first when you first get started. Oh my God, myth number 2. The amount of times I hear this, it actually kind of blows my mind. It's, what's the secret product that I need to buy? What's the best product, the best category? Come on. If you really want to scale a business, there is no best one-trick pony that no one else knows about, that someone's just going to tell you on a random YouTube video. No. If there's a category of product that's winning, okay, great. It's winning for X amount of time. This is not how you build a consistent business, right? If something's winning, like there's a certain category that's taken off, like at the beginning of every January, the beginning of the year, supplements take off because everyone's trying to lose weight and all these things. During Q4, what you'll see is a lot of things like candy take off, right? And other holiday-oriented things, like we have a tomato sauce brand that we represent. They take off in Q4. That's all good and fine and wonderful, but at the end of the day, you cannot build a business on these trends. You can't build these business on these hype things. You need consistent, reliable income. This entire mindset is flawed. So every time someone comes to me with this, I'm almost like, I want to laugh at them, but I kind of just yell at them. The whole thing about it is everyone has the same tools. So you're not going to find the one tool that's going to give you the sauce, right? It is the person that is operating it that finds the best product. And if you know how to read the data and communicate well, and you're using tools like, we love Smart Scout, best tool in the marketplace. Don't own it, right? This is from Scott Needham. Great guy, made about $30 million a year on his Amazon business, created this tool, one of my favorite tools in the game. But if you're using things like Smart Scout and Keepa, which all in, those tools are going to cost you like $40 to $50, you have the same tools as everyone else, except maybe a little better because they're using some outdated ones. But it's all about following a consistent system. And instead of going for these home runs like blue ocean that nobody else has found, just look for the consistent base hits. That is what builds the business, the foundation, the consistent little plays that stack up these little income streams, and boom, all of a sudden you're making a shit ton of money because you have the right products in your store, right? No secret sauce, just source products that sell all year round. That's it. Myth number 3, you can start Amazon FBA with just $500. Okay. Oh man. All right. So this is kind of a myth, but I guess if you really were kind of pushing the needle, you could. So you can get started in Amazon doing things like retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. You can go on these websites, you can use tools to scan their data and see if the product that they're selling sells for more on Amazon. Buy it, sell it over here. Wonderful. Now, there's 2 main issues here. One, that method is so against what Amazon is going for. You run into a lot of red tape. The amount of time I hear people who are doing retail arbitrage say, I can't get gated. I can't get approved to sell. I'm having a hard time making profit. And it's like, duh. Number 1, Amazon is extremely afraid of fake products on their marketplace. You as a person buying from a random business online, you are the definition of a threat to Amazon. You can buy anything. You don't have any testing or anything to make sure what you're selling is legit. It can be fake. It can end up in the customer hand. And guess what? That customer can end up with a negative experience, and it doesn't affect just you. It affects Amazon and the brand. So you are at risk when you are not buying from authorized, reputable distributors. So Amazon makes it way harder for you to sell. Number 2, you are buying at a retail price and trying to resell at a retail price. Of course, you're going to make the least money. Like, think of the whole chain. There's a manufacturer, then a brand, then a distributor, then a retail store, then a customer. You are just buying one step up, so you are going to make the least amount of money. Like, it just is what it is, right? Now, if you have a low budget, can you get started here? Yes, right? It will still build a skill set. You will still generate some money, but don't expect to go home, I'm making $1 million a year, 2 million. It's not gonna happen. But can it bring you from 500 to 5,000? Yes. And if you only have $500, that's how you better think. Stop trying to blow the top off the damn car and just make some money to get started, right? But if you want to get into wholesale, right? I started with $2,500. That is the bare minimum. I would recommend closer to around 5K, because the larger the brands you go to, they have something called a MOQ or MOA, and you're gonna need some capital to hit those minimum order amounts or quantities. So 2,500 is the bare minimum I would start with. That will cover your MOQ, MOA, your software course, all of that stuff. But it is the ground level. Honestly, under that, just save up. And then 5K would be ideal. And if you have more money, that's cool as well. But don't think just because I have 300K, you can like circumvent and just get better deals, right? You still have to understand the marketplace. You still need to know who to talk to, what to say to them to close these deals. So having a bigger budget is not the most important thing in the world. And the last thing I would say about this is I have not invested a single dollar out of my own pocket into this business since 2020, right? Even though we've done over 35 million sales. Why is that? We highly leverage other people's money. That can be net terms from your supplier or distributor where they give you the inventory on the arm and you don't have to pay them for 1 to 3 months. That can be zero interest business credit cards. It can be e-commerce lending, whatever. But at the end of the day, this is a high cash velocity business. You can literally, if you are operating it right, do anywhere from 30 to 40% return on investment in about a month and a half if you're operating everything right. There's no interest out there from anything that's going to require eat too much into that chunk. Credit card might be 2 to 3% or something like that at most for the month. So we leverage heavily into other people's money because at the end of the day, this is what allows us to scale a lot quicker and allows us to keep a lot more money in our pocket. If we were reinvesting profits into this business, it would slow us down. I would have less money to go hang out and do all the kind of dumb stuff I do right now. So credit, as long as you know how to use it, is the most powerful tool that we have access to because the products are already out there. The money's already moving on Amazon. It's already doing damn near $2 billion a day. We just gotta jump in the middle. Myth number 4, just buy from any distributor. It's all the same. Woo! Okay, this, if you're watching, make sure when you're watching videos, they are up to date, right? This worked back in 2020, 2021, 2022. You can buy from anywhere on God's green earth and you can make some damn money. But here is the thing about today's day and age. Like I said before, Amazon is deathly afraid of fake inventory in their marketplace. When you do not buy as a new seller directly from the brand or their authorized distributors or national distributors, you run a very high risk that Amazon will eventually flag your ass with something called a Section 3 and say, hey, prove to me that everything you're selling is legit, or this product is legit, or this is legit. And when that day comes and you do not have your documentation or paperwork in order, prepare to get your ass handed to you. They used to shut down accounts. They haven't been doing that recently, but it is their marketplace. We are at their will. So if they change it and start shutting down accounts again, that's bad news for you. At the end of the day, our job is to understand the wave of what's happening. Amazon is leaving further and further away from the unauthorized random mom and pop seller and more to the brand direct partnership. Right now, our whole entire business, including in our program where we coach people on how to get to their first 10, 50, 100K month. Look, if you want to find out a little more about that, feel free, links in the description. You can feel free to get a call with our team or come to our free workshops where I go in depth to our whole Triple S framework, where we go over every damn thing we do to not just find the right products, but how to build a business so that it operates in 8 or less hours a week, to how we actually build a team so that you can actually get to a point where you can work 2 to 4 hours a week and it still grows. If you want that, that's the links below. Amazon is going more and more towards the brand direct seller. So you have to position yourself as a value add to this brand. One of my favorite stories is a brand that we sold that we did about $1.2 million. Very popular brand on TikTok, right? But when we got in there, we met them in 2023 in Chicago, right? We went there, we shook their hand at a trade show, said what's up, put in a big old order, came with a checkbook, and we were making some good money. When we first started, maybe 20K a month profit. Not bad, right? But what happened as this brand started growing and 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 doing all of these marketing and spending all their money on marketing? What happened to us? We made more money because we could sell more units. So it's not just the net profit per sale, it's how many units can I sell and what is my net profit per unit. If either one of those markers go up, we make more damn money. So here's the thing, when you get into this game, first thing you want to do is go brand direct. Don't think because a brand is small now that they will always be small. You want to go in there, you want to get anywhere from 10, 15, 20% of the entire revenue, but you want to position yourself to get exclusive deals, meaning that can you be the exclusive seller on one product on the listing or the entire catalog on Amazon? Where you see people screw this up is they have this limiting belief that, oh, why do sellers need resellers? I don't think they understand what it takes to be a brand owner, how much money brands owners really spend in terms of marketing and how their budget and attention can be tied up elsewhere. Not everyone's primary channel is Amazon. Not everyone's primary channel is TikTok. Not everyone has enough capital to spend heavily into things like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, TikTok ads, Instagram ads, all of this, and still manage to stay in stock, right? So us resellers, we provide value to the brand. And if you can provide more value than just being a reseller and actually have enough knowledge on Amazon to drive more revenue for them, guess what? You are like that ideal student to them. They're gonna come and wanna work with you. So this is super important. When you jump in the game, don't just go to any random person, start buying product and just get excited, right? Go directly to brands. And what's even better than that, when you go to brands, you get better pricing because remember the supply chain, right? Manufacturer, brand, distributor, retail store, customer. Well, guess what? We skip the retail store, we skip the distributor, we go to the brands, they have the best pricing, meaning we can get the best pricing. Make sense? So our margins go up. Myth number 5, goddamn, I've probably heard this since I started. Amazon is too saturated. I can't make money there. You can't make money there. It's too late to start. All right, so here's a stat. Back in 2020 when I was first getting started, people would say Amazon is oversaturated. 90% of sellers fail. I said, I don't give a damn. And it wasn't because like what they were saying wasn't valid. It was just they were looking at it from such a tiny lens. 90% of Amazon sellers fail. Think about any career. Like imagine you wanted to be like a CPA, a tax advisor, or you wanted to be like a doctor or a lawyer. Imagine you could just literally say, I want to be a lawyer, right? A week later, you are now a lawyer. What would be the success rate of that? Low as hell. So this is what Amazon sellers kind of get into this mentality of, oh, I'm gonna start selling on Amazon. They don't know shit, right? I'm gonna start selling on Amazon. All right, cool, go do it. They don't know what to buy, what to sell. They don't know what software to use. They don't know anything, right? And they start losing money. And they're like, man, Amazon doesn't work. It's oversaturated. It's too much competition. No. There's a difference between saturation and sophistication. They are not the same, right? This is not 2011 or 2012 where you could just start throwing shit at the wall on Amazon and it's going to stick. At the end of the day, the people who have the most knowledge, the people who understand how the market works, those are the people that make the most money. Like we scaled to $1 million a month, right? $1.3 million a month. How? Well, a few things. One, we got mentorship. We got people who are already doing multiple 8 figures to teach us the game, right? We were not trying to just figure shit out on ourselves and make a ton of mistakes and lose money. But 2, it was like we understood that as the marketplace gets more sophisticated, there's going to be more money available. Amazon's grown every year, not saturated. If there's more demand coming in every single year. And it's grown by like about 11%. It's not like baby grown. It's grown by 11% on average per year. But we understood that as it grows, what's going to happen? More sellers are going to flood and more sellers are going to flood. And what you want to do is you need to accelerate how quick you jump over those rookies, right? Because they're the ones screwing up everything. They're the ones losing money. They're the ones BSing. But just be real. They started an account. They didn't know left from right. They started throwing stuff at the wall and now they're losing money and they are surprised. Like most jobs or most careers don't take a little bit of education to actually get started. So at the end of the day, is Amazon oversaturated? I don't know, you tell me, right? We're doing over $1 million a month. We started doing over $1 million a month since 2022 was our first $1 million a month. So 2 years into the business, 3 kids from New York, don't know shit about business, never had a business, just rode the wave and got in the room with people who already knew a little more than us to teach us what to do. Don't listen to the naysayers out there, the people that just try to guess stuff and they think that things are, oh, it's too hard, it's too hard. Like making $1 million is supposed to be easy. Making multiple $1 million is supposed to be easy. Replacing your job that you spent all these years of schools to get and it's supposed to be easy. Getting time freedom all is supposed to be easy. No. This business is not easy, but it is freaking simple. And if you have the right system, it makes it even easier. So I'll tell you this, going into 2026, right? If you are still here doing these outdated methods like retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, consider your ass is about to be kicked. It will. Amazon's moving further and further away from it. This is why personally, we always update our systems. We're like implementing AI into our business. We're doing every single thing to prepare for the growth. Because we have to, and because the people that move first are the ones that eat up the lion's share of the money. Make sure you are going directly to brands and locking in as many brand direct deals as humanly possible. Over the past 3 months, we've locked in over 62 brand direct deals from our internal team and another 45 deals from our AI software. That's 100, if I correct me, from 107 different brand direct deals, not products, deals. Why is this so cool? Because guess what? As we grow, we don't even need all of these. We're giving out to students, but at the end of the day, we're learning the skill set on how to acquire them. We're developing that. So make sure you are going brand direct. You will not regret it. And if you are one of those people that want to do private label and launch your own brand, good for you. I wish you the best of luck. Would I started on Amazon? Definitely not. I would start it on something like TikTok. I would really start on TikTok or even whatnot, because what's happening is Amazon is, this is a little more advanced, but if you're doing marketing on Amazon, it is called PPC, pay per click. People are bidding on keywords, these words to generate sales. There's not a lot of creativity in there, right? Versus what you see is that people that run ads on like Instagram, TikTok, right? How does it work? It's content. There's a lot of creativity. You can attack different avatars, right? If you have like, I just bought these freaking, what are these? Like some damn sound blockers, because I just got a puppy. He's over here not making noise, thank God. But anyway, I just got a puppy and I'm like, I need to sleep at night. He started like, crying, right? But think about this product, right? This can go into a bunch of different people. This can be used for work. It can be used for sleep. It can be used for travel, right? So when they do their marketing, they can attack all these different niches, right? That can come out in your content. So that can come out on TikTok. That can come out on Instagram, YouTube. Amazon's a lot harder to do those different type of marketing. Can you put it in your keywords? Absolutely. But it's a lot more streamlined, a lot more simple, almost like Google, right? So creativity is super limited, but competition is still there. If you want to go launch your own brand, I would go to the new marketplace, the marketplace that's dying for brands to come on it, like TikTok. They have lower fees, right? You can use creators to just do organic content for you. You can do all this shit and get super creative. I would start there and then have Amazon just be like where your store is made. So you have like this thing called a halo effect, where people are gonna first see you on TikTok and they're gonna start buying it over there for the first purchase, but the repeat purchases will come over to Amazon. A lot more advanced. I just threw that in there because I do know a lot of people are trying to launch their own brands. I'm just saying, just be smart about it, because you are taking on inherently a lot more risk than us resellers. And while I have some private label brands and I'm launching some new ones aggressively going into 2026, I know that the risk is there. I'm not expecting to turn a profit anytime soon. So just make sure you're on the same boat when you jump into it. But if you're going into wholesale, brand direct, brand direct, brand direct, brand direct, brand direct, while still learning all of these skill sets to provide value to this brand, and then eventually going from just a reseller to an official brand partner and hopefully an exclusive deal, then you only need like 1 or 2 brands to literally hit multi 6 or 7 figures a month. It's that simple going into 2026. So those are the biggest pieces of advice that most Amazon FBA sellers usually get wrong. I hope you see what's not working and what actually is working and what to do. So I really hope this was super helpful. Look, this business model works incredibly well in 2026. The only main difference you see is the people that are still bumping their head using outdated methods, and the ones that actually understand what's going on in the marketplace and accelerating their growth and eating up the lion's share of that new revenue that's coming in. Look, if you want to skip all the trial and error and you want to know exactly how we scaled up to 35 mil so you can maybe inject it into your business, what you want to do is hit the link below and sign up for our next completely free live workshop. We'll be going into it. Make sure you bring a notebook though. It is a kind of long training, but it's long for a reason. We're providing a ton of value. In it, we're going to show you how to find the right products, how to actually build a business that can run in just a few hours per week, and then when it's time to scale, how to build a team and get the funding to get you there without guessing and without gambling on products that might flop. Either way, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We drop these videos every damn week showing all the things that are working in the FBA space. Hope will help. Peace.